The science of happily ever after. In life, we often encounter young people who, when asked about their ideal partner, simply say, "When I see the right one, I'll know." When pressed for specific criteria, they can't articulate what they want. As a result, despite numerous introductions from family and friends, none seem suitable. Even when they finally marry, many end up divorced within a few years. This phenomenon is becoming increasingly common, but is finding the ideal partner really that difficult? Actually, it's not. This book we're discussing today teaches you how to find your perfect match. Some might ask, there are countless books like this. Why should we listen to this one? First, this isn't your typical relationship guide from a magazine teaching you how to flirt or how to keep your man. Finding happiness is a complex science that many people struggle to understand throughout their lives. It involves research from biology, economics, psychology, anthropology, demographics, medical science, and many other fields. It would be impossible for everyone to study all these areas independently. This book consolidates findings from all relevant fields to establish its science of happiness, making it highly credible. Second, the author, Tai Tata, is a distinguished scholar who earned his psychology doctorate from the University of Minnesota. This university is renowned for pioneering the scientific study of relationships and has become a global research hub for relationship science, attracting top researchers worldwide. Under their guidance, the author began his scientific research, eventually becoming an expert in relationship psychology. His findings have been published in numerous prestigious academic journals. Ready to embark on the path to romantic happiness? This book is all you need. It focuses on two crucial points. First, everyone has different traits that are generally difficult to change. Second, how to find someone whose traits match yours. Let's examine the author's insights in detail. The first key insight: a person's traits are powerful predictors of their future. We often hear people say, "Don't worry about their current flaws. They'll change after marriage," or "They'll improve once you have children." Don't believe these claims. Let's understand what traits are. Psychologists define traits as inherent and unique characteristics of an individual. These include cognitive traits like intelligence, personality traits such as introversion or extroversion, kindness or meanness, being interesting or dull, conscientious or careless, physical traits like height, build, and attractiveness, and value-based traits including religious beliefs and political views. The scope of traits is extensive. Everyone's traits are different and notably stable, rarely changing throughout their lifetime. As the saying goes, a leopard can't change its spots. Where do these traits come from? Our traits are partly inherited from our parents and partly shaped by our family environment. As we grow, we choose environments that suit us, further cementing these traits. For instance, researchers have identified willpower as a trait that strongly predicts future success. Studies in military, academic, and corporate settings consistently show that exceptional performers invariably possess strong willpower. Since traits can indicate major life directions, whether your partner's traits will bring happiness or distress to your life is often evident during dating. If your partner's traits cause you stress during courtship, they'll likely continue to do so for decades to come. That's why they say to keep your eyes wide open before marriage. If you discovered early on that there were many unbearable traits in him, traits you knew he could hardly change, would you still choose to marry him? Making a careful choice before marriage is crucial. It's like choosing an umbrella. Your decision will either bring relief or regret every time it rains. However, many people fail to do this, which explains why so many marriages end up unhappy. When love first blooms, many factors cloud your judgment, making it difficult to spot the other person's flaws. As the saying goes, love is blind. People in love often lack discernment, their minds clouded by affection, seeing only the best in their partner. It's understandable. Everyone shows their best side at first, but over time, those imperfections can no longer stay hidden. Here's our first key point. Everyone has distinct characteristics that are difficult to change. Recognizing these traits is a powerful tool for predicting your future together. Understanding this, you know what to do, right? The best way to avoid misjudging someone is to take time to observe them. Wait until their true characteristics fully emerge, then use your understanding to determine if they'll bring you lasting happiness. How do we judge? This brings us to our second secret. Find someone whose characteristics are right for you. What traits should an ideal partner have? There's no universal answer. It varies from person to person. So, what characteristics suit you? How can you know for sure? First, understand yourself. What matters most to you, and what can you absolutely not tolerate? The author suggests that while many traits make up a person, you should prioritize the characteristics you seek in an ideal partner, putting the essential qualities for a lasting relationship at the top. Now, you might be tempted to make a long list, but don't. The author emphasizes that we should only make 3 wishes and distribute them reasonably. Some might be non-negotiable, while others could have some flexibility. Why only 3? Because being too picky can backfire. The more conditions you have, the fewer options remain. It's simple logic. Plus, these 3 wishes might change over time, as some people initially don't know what they truly want. The book shares a story about Anna, who wanted to lose her virginity before graduating high school. She had 3 requirements. Her partner should be sexy, athletic, and Catholic. After reviewing 500 male students with the author, they identified 5 candidates, truly 1 in 100. Among them, Jack stood out, and Anna was smitten. On their 4th date, Anna got her wish, but without using protection, she feared pregnancy. When she told Jack, he avoided her calls and dodged her everywhere, infuriating her. Jack wasn't heartless. He simply couldn't handle pressure, something his football coach had noted. Anna couldn't accept this trait and ended the relationship. Later, Anna reprioritized her ideal partner traits and found a new love. Her new boyfriend wasn't particularly athletic or sexy, but Anna found him adorable, and his other qualities brought her continuous joy, leaving her content. This example shows that if Anna had 4 or 5 requirements instead of 3, none of those 500 candidates might have qualified. This is why more conditions mean fewer choices. Moreover, Anna wouldn't have been happy living with Jack, so she adjusted her requirements for partner qualities and eventually found her own happiness. Beyond personality, qualities include many aspects, and the principle remains the same. Only you know whether someone's qualities are right for you. As the saying goes, only the foot knows if the shoe fits. For instance, if a girl is a neat freak and the boy is naturally messy, you might think they're incompatible. However, if the boy is a scientific genius, achieving great results in research and deeply devoted to his work, and this deeply attracts the girl. If she's willing to be supportive in their daily life and takes pride in his achievements, feeling she's contributed to his success, they complement each other in life, share career aspirations, and can become a harmonious couple. Therefore, finding someone with qualities that suit you can lead to a happy life. Of course, besides everyone needing to identify their most desired qualities in a partner, the author warns us about 2 types of people who are unlikely to make ideal partners. The first type is the neurotic person, and the second is the sensation seeker. Neurotic people lack security and are suspicious of everything. Like Jane Eyre, who might overthink a simple comment for an entire day. Sensation seekers constantly chase new thrills and avoid routine. Like Gatsby, who filled his life with extravagant parties and endless pursuit of excitement. Research shows that neurotic people often struggle to maintain relationships, have unstable romantic relationships, and are more likely to divorce. Sensation seekers typically lack commitment, are open-minded but irresponsible, lose interest quickly, are prone to infidelity, and easily get bored with routine, often seeking new environments and partners. They might frequent nightclubs or spend time drinking heavily while enjoying flashy lights and beautiful people. The author believes these 2 types, the neurotic and sensation seekers, are unsuitable as ideal partners. Instead, the author suggests that people with strong nurturing tendencies make better partners. What does it mean to have strong nurturing tendencies? These people are not only friendlier and more considerate, but are also more likely to put effort into romantic relationships, keeping their partner satisfied and maintaining relationship freshness. A naturally nurturing person better understands others and maintains intimate relationships more effectively. This is the second secret we've discussed, finding someone with qualities that suit you. Limit these qualities to 3 or fewer and know which quality matters most to you. An ideal partner shouldn't be neurotic or sensation-seeking, but should be nurturing and considerate. Of course, the next secret might help you find someone who matches your qualities better. This is the author's 3rd secret, understanding your attachment style. This is the book's most interesting part, where psychologists divide attachment styles into secure, avoidant, and anxious. The secure type easily gets close to others and can depend on people while being dependable themselves. They don't worry about abandonment or others getting too close. The avoidant type is opposite. They're uncomfortable with closeness, don't trust others easily, and won't allow themselves to depend on anyone. When someone gets too close, they feel tense. The anxious type is even more extreme, characterized by feeling that others don't want to be close to them, often worrying that their partner doesn't love them or doesn't want to be with them. To better understand these three attachment patterns, researchers conducted an experiment. A mother sat in the center of the laboratory with her baby on her lap. When the lights dimmed, following the researchers' instructions, the mother would put the baby down and quietly leave the room. 2 minutes later, the mother returned, and the researchers asked her to pick up and comfort the baby. Different types of babies showed different reactions. Securely attached babies quickly stopped crying. If we could imagine their thoughts, we might hear, "You left, and now you're back. It's no big deal." Avoidant babies also stopped crying quickly, but they appeared indifferent. They might have been thinking, "What do I care if you left? I don't need you anyway." Anxious babies would cry continuously, clinging to their mothers and showing anger. Their thoughts might have been, "The world fell apart when you left. I'm angry, and you're not allowed to leave me again." Then something interesting happened, the second key behavior observed in the experiment. Researchers placed toys that the children loved at varying distances from the mother. Let's look at how the babies behaved. After spending time with their mothers, securely attached babies would climb down and explore their surroundings. They'd start with the nearest toys, occasionally glancing back at their mothers, and would pick up toys to show their new discoveries. Avoidant babies would also climb down, but more quickly than secure babies. They moved fastest while playing with toys and explored the furthest. However, they rarely looked back at their mothers and didn't share their discoveries, playing independently. Anxious babies took much longer to leave their mothers' laps, played within a limited range, and constantly looked back at their mothers, afraid they might leave again. These different attachment styles carry into adulthood. Secure adults feel calm with their partners. When their partner is away, they trust they'll return with love and care, remaining peaceful and content. Avoidant adults might not invest much in relationships from the start. They may be very focused on work, but are less likely to date or marry. Anxious adults cling tightly to their partners, fearing loss. This mindset can make them sensitive, suspicious, and insecure. Research shows that secure partners bring more happiness and relationship satisfaction, and their marriages tend to be more stable. So should everyone seek secure partners? Not exactly. Sometimes people tend to choose partners with similar attachment styles. For instance, anxious types might seek out other anxious types, and avoidant types might connect with other avoidant types. Birds of a feather flock together, as they say. This brings us to our third key insight. Psychologists categorize attachment styles into 3 types: secure, avoidant, and anxious. Securely attached individuals find it easy to get close to others, can comfortably depend on people and be depended upon, and don't worry much about abandonment or others getting too close. Avoidant types are the opposite. They're uncomfortable with intimacy, struggle to trust others, and don't like depending on people or having others depend on them. They become tense when someone gets too close. Anxious types often feel others are reluctant to get close to them, and frequently worry their partners don't truly love them or want to stay with them. Understanding your attachment style can help you find a more compatible partner. Let's move on to the fourth key insight: recognizing red flags in potential partners. Why is this important? It's crucial because it helps establish boundaries in relationships. Crossing these boundaries can make lasting happiness nearly impossible. How do we identify these red flags? Let's first understand attribution in relationships, how we explain events or behaviors. Imagine you're late for a dinner date, and your partner has been waiting alone at the restaurant for 20 minutes. Your partner might interpret this through 4 different attribution styles. First, they might blame themselves, thinking they're not worthy and you're about to leave them. Second, they might blame you, seeing it as a sign of your irresponsibility. Third, they might view it as a communication issue between both of you. Fourth, they might attribute it to external factors, like traffic. Clearly, the second interpretation, blaming your character, is the most damaging. If your partner consistently blames you during conflicts, that's a significant red flag. A relationship rarely thrives when one person constantly shifts responsibility onto the other. Another red flag is the demand-withdraw pattern of communication. This occurs when one partner makes demands with criticism, pressure, nagging, and complaints rather than expressing needs constructively. What happens? Over time, the other partner gives up trying to discuss issues and actively avoids any discussion. It's human nature to avoid criticism. Constant pressure and blame from one partner leads to withdrawal from the other. If your partner consistently communicates through criticism and pressure with aggressive emotional undertones, your relationship satisfaction will likely suffer significantly. The third red flag is toxic love. This manifests when one partner's intense love turns into excessive control, often imposing unfair restrictions on the other. The controlled partner becomes emotionally numb, compliant, and deeply unhappy. This creates an unhealthy dynamic. For example, when a woman deeply loves her partner but tries to control everything, what they wear, what they eat, which gatherings they can attend, which friends they can see. If the partner doesn't comply, endless arguments ensue. Over time, the controlled partner feels suffocated and avoids conflict by submission. Going against yourself and changing who you are leads to inner turmoil. Such emotionally draining relationships should be avoided. We all know nobody's perfect, so what should we do when we notice red flags in a relationship? The book describes a couple who were madly in love during their first few months together. The woman was attracted to the man's handsome face, strong physique, and steady personality. The man liked that she was beautiful and capable. However, after marriage, their relationship deteriorated to an unsustainable point. The woman constantly blamed problems on the man's laziness and incompetence. The man, already lacking self-esteem, appeared indifferent and dismissive, which greatly displeased the woman and made her more critical. He ignored her nagging and complaints, maintaining a stubborn, unresponsive attitude. Finally, one day when the woman returned home exhausted from work and found her husband lounging on the couch playing video games, with dirty clothes and socks strewn on the floor, she lost control. In her anger, she grabbed a bottle and accidentally injured him. You can see how their marriage breakdown was predictable. What were the reasons? Their marital tragedy stemmed from: first, the woman attributing all responsibility to her partner. Second, their failure to establish healthy communication patterns. These issues could have been resolved. Most critically, third, they ignored and failed to address the early warning signs in their marriage. In marriage, couples should first look inward when problems arise, establish positive and effective communication, work on improving negative traits while being tolerant of each other. If problems prove unsolvable, choosing to separate is a rational decision. The author emphasizes that sharing joyful moments between partners helps increase marital stability and happiness. These aren't the only warning signs in relationships. The author also reminds us to consider family and friends' opinions rather than being blindly optimistic or stubborn. As outsiders often see things more clearly, it's usually wise to listen to friends and family when evaluating a partner's character in a relationship. Their external perspective can provide clearer insights. The author suggests a good method. Bring your partner to friend gatherings, placing them in fair but challenging environments to observe how they handle pressure. Afterward, listen to others' opinions and analyze rationally. Don't think relationships only concern you and no one else. This is the author's fourth secret: being able to identify warning signs in partners. If you meet someone who always shifts blame to you, makes demands with criticism, shows strong controlling tendencies, or treats you unfairly, leave early while you still can. To summarize, how can you use scientific methods to find your true life partner? Relationship psychologists offer 4 secrets. First, everyone has different traits that are difficult to change. Discovering these traits helps predict the future. The best way to avoid misjudging someone is to observe them over time. Wait until their traits are fully revealed. Then use your knowledge to judge if they'll bring you lasting happiness. Second, find someone with traits suitable for you. An ideal partner shouldn't be neurotic or emotionally volatile, but rather kind, considerate, and consistent. Third, psychologists classify attachment styles into 3 types: secure, avoidant, and anxious. Secure individuals find it easier to get close to others, can depend on others and be depended upon, and don't constantly fear abandonment. They rarely worry about others getting too close. Avoidant individuals are quite the opposite. They're uncomfortable with intimate relationships, don't readily trust others, and won't allow themselves to depend on anyone. They become anxious when someone tries to get too close. Anxious individuals often fear that others are unwilling to get close to them. They frequently worry that their partners don't love them or don't want to be with them. Understanding which attachment style you have makes it easier to find a compatible partner. Fourth, it's crucial to recognize warning signs in potential partners. If you meet someone who shifts all blame to you, makes demands with criticism, or shows strong controlling tendencies and treats you unfairly, leave while you still can. As a relationship psychologist, the author has identified patterns from extensive scientific research, dealing with probabilities rather than absolutes. It's important to note that life isn't black and white. The book's insights are meant to provide helpful guidance, not rigid rules. Reality is often more complex, so don't blindly follow the book's principles when dealing with real-life situations. The author assures us that lasting happiness is possible, and the desire for eternal happiness can be fulfilled. By making the simple decision to read scientific books like this, you've already taken a significant step toward uncovering the secrets of love. May everyone find their own path to lasting happiness.